Kwingineko, Tume ya Kitaifa ya Kutetea Haki za Binadamu imetaja ubomoaji wa nyumba eneo la Mavoko kuwa ukikukaji wa sheria na haki ya kuwa na makazi. Akizungumza katika ofisi zao hapa Nairobi, afisa mkuu wa ushauri kuhusu mipango ya tume hiyo, MARTIN MAVENJINA, ameelezea kuwa kuwafurusha wakazi hao pia ni ukiukaji mkubwa wa mwongozo wa Umoja wa Mataifa.
Human rights standards that are enshrined in the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, and our very own Constitution. Further, Section 152G of the Land Laws Amendment Act of 2017 stipulates the following mandatory procedures which the eviction should have complied with. 1, it should have been preceded by the proper identification of those taking part in the eviction or demolitions. 2, should be preceded by the presentation of the formal authorization for the action to happen. 3, where groups of people are involved, government officials or their representatives to be present during an eviction. 4th, evictions should be carried out in a manner that respect the dignity, right to life, right to property, and the security of those people who will be affected by the evictions. Number 5, they should include special measures to ensure effective protection for groups and people who are vulnerable, especially women, children, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Number 6, they should include special measures to ensure that there is no arbitrary deprivation of property and possessions as a result of the eviction. Number 7, they should include mechanisms to protect property and possessions left behind involuntarily from the destruction. Number 8, there should be respect for the principles of necessity and proportionality during the use of force. And lastly, they should give the affected people the first priority to demolish by themselves in order to be able to salvage their property. This did not happen in Mavoko. All these procedures have intentionally been overlooked during the conduct of the evictions that we have all seen, and therefore they are illegal. Thank you.
While there were irregularities over how the land was acquired, questions about how the parcel changed hands from the Portland to private entities, this speaks of fraud within the land department in the county and the national government. Based on all these issues we have raised above, we have a number of demands. First is an immediate halt to the ongoing demolitions and evictions in the river. We are calling upon the government to engage in a meaningful and a compassionate dialogue with the affected residents. Number 2, we are demanding that the government must ensure that the international human rights standards, including those related to forced evictions, are strictly adhered to during the removals, respecting the right to dignity and the well-being of all individuals and the communities involved and affected. Number 3, the government must provide humanitarian assistance, including shelter, food, clothing to the victims of these evictions, especially the vulnerable groups such as women, children, and other people. We are also calling upon the government to investigate the circumstances around the evictions, hold those responsible for the human rights violations accountable, and ensure that we have adequate remedies for those who are affected.